When should I get up? Can I sleep in? Raisin Bran or Cheerios? Shorts or a skirt? And what on earth did I just come in here to get? On average, an adult makes over 35,000 conscious decisions each day. I have worked in the prison ministry for a number of years in a program similar to this called Kairos. One of the first conversations of the weekend is called Choices. Obviously, the guests for the weekend have made some choices that aren't so stellar. Oftentimes, the decisions we make don't have a readily apparent outcome. Sometimes a random chain of events gets us where we are. Sunday, on my way to church, I heard a program on Spirit FM comparing gardening to spiritual growth. Well, this resonated with me, as I have 5 raised beds that used to have dahlias in them that have sat fallow for 4 or 5 years. I weed and turn the soil every spring, but don't get any further with it. This year, with some prompting from our son, we planted vegetables in 2 of the beds. And in order to do so, I had to prepare the soil, amend it, and make it ready for the planting. I started thinking of the process and the order in which things have to happen to ensure a successful, flourishing garden. Just think about the analogies now. Turning the bed, weeding, preparing, amending the soil. Maybe we prepare ourselves internally and mentally for spirituality. We plant a seed, yes? And wait, maybe not so patiently, for a sign of growth. And the first leaves sprout through the soil, maybe the first flowers of the Spirit. And understanding. The analogy goes on. And I think of my women friends in prison. What has their soil been like? Was it rocky and choked with weeds? Maybe they had no room for any growth at all. Maybe they did not get enough water or nourishment and failed to thrive. As I thought about all of this and the choices that we make, I considered how they worked hand in hand with what we do with the choices that we have. How do we prioritize those thousands of things? What kind of order do we put them into? As humans, we are blessed, or sometimes cursed, with the ability to reason, the ability to take the decision-making process and create something from it, to mold our lives, to grow our gardens into beautiful flowering fields. How do we do this? How do we discern what our priorities are? First of all, we are creative. We imagine, we dream. This vision is unique to each of us. Secondly, we use our intelligence to discern what is workable, even remotely so. And thirdly, we are willing and ready to carry out a plan, physically and mentally. We have to be prepared to take the steps required to grow our vision and implement it. The dictionary defines the word priority as something of leading importance in your life, something for which you live, the shaping value. We all have priorities, and one will take precedence over the others. Another way to look at it is this: your values and your belief system, along with your ideals and commitment, equal a priority. So, what's the difference between a priority and a decision? How do you know that something deserves to be up there on the list? I am self-employed and work from my home office. My schedule and demands differ daily. If I do not prioritize the to-do list, I'll create certain headaches for myself, or I won't get paid. So I have a loose set of have-tos and then the get-tos. Once I complete the tasks that I need to do to be successful, I can move on to those that do not have to be done. And I love most of them, even the have-tos. For example, right now my have-tos include going to the gym, checking email, weighing myself, don't ask about that one, and completing the physical tasks that my job requires. Once those are done, we're on to the get-tos. These are day-to-day priorities. What about the big picture? What about how you live your life? Just as we change, so do our priorities. For example, my first priority, the one I always strive for, is a living, working, loving friendship and relationship with God. That will always be first. Secondly is my family. And sometimes that means me. Other times it's my husband or son or even our dog. It changes, it shifts. But it's realistic, sustainable, motivating. So what makes these items authentic priorities? 1, they're consciously chosen. They give my life direction, purpose, and meaning. They infuse me with enthusiasm, energy, and expectation. They are realistic. So what is your priority? There are many kinds of priorities from day to day to a big picture. Personal goals to things that just have to get done. How do you go about finding what your set of priorities might be? Are you setting your own? Or have you let them be set for you? A while back, I attended a seminar that sparked some inner reflection about imagining what could be, possibilities. The question was posed that if you could do anything in the world that you wanted, what would you do? You would have no time, no energy, no family or money restrictions. Anything in the world. Nothing to hold you back. Think about it. Even if your heart's desire is way out there or seems unobtainable, you have identified it. And you can start to work on ways to get there. You can set your priorities. Another few things to consider. What do I think about? Where do I spend my money? And where do I spend my time? As a child, choices are made for us. And as we grow, as our garden blooms, we learn to make our own decisions. We learn to set goals and build priorities. And they are ever changing. Look for that place where you flourish, the place you bloom. That is your priority.